Yeah, hi there. These comments are for BF, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer of all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So how are you doing today? And you turned in your practice test a little bit late, at least that's when I got my email, so make an effort to get things in on time, all right? Because now I got other projects I'm trying to work on. I'm not working on grading your speaking practice tests. I'm working on grading my writing assignments for some of my other classes, all right? Anyway, let's see what you got to say here. So here we go.
To this article, uranium and technology risk for nuclear energy production, which is shared between countries and private, converted into insured uranium. Operate and International Atomic Energy Agency to monetary facility and prevent their spread dramatically and risk. Moreover, listening talked about the seriousness of uranium in the world and the difficulty of controlling. Moreover, listening talked about the seriousness of uranium in the world and the difficulty of controlling the countries that have nuclear energy technology be used either in peace or as a weapon. And there
Now you're getting it mixed up here. Your notes are getting mixed up. You have the reading passage and you have the lecture. You're saying the lecture, but the information you're saying right now connects back to the reading passage. So let's kind of establish what's going on here. Before you do anything in this kind of a practice test, you need an introduction. It's similar to what you're doing in your academic writing class. So you need maybe 8 or 9 seconds in your response. You'll say something like this. The reading passage explains the dangers of nuclear energy, and the listening passage gives an example to illustrate one of those risks. That's what you want to do in the beginning. Then right after that, you'll say, first of all, according to the reading passage, nuclear energy has several risks. And one of the risks, according to the author in the reading passage, is that the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, it has difficulty monitoring what countries are doing with the enriched uranium that they have. For example, the author states, are these countries using this uranium for weapons? Are they using it for nuclear energy? This is the difficulty that the IAEA is having. Now then, once you're done talking about the reading passage, and you say, second of all, according to the listening passage, there are, or how about this, the listening passage presents an example of a risk associated with nuclear energy, specifically the risk of nuclear accident. And at that point, that's when you discuss the details of the Chernobyl accident in the former Soviet Union.
also other risks such as...
Now you hear that noise in the background? Your smoke detector in your apartment needs to be replaced. You hear that chirp, that chirping? It just means that you need to replace the battery there, and that will get rid of that sound that you're hearing.
Accidents. For example, the explosion in either in peace or as a weapon. And there are also other risks such as accidents.
So here's a problem. You're giving information that you're saying comes from the listening passage when it actually comes from the reading passage. You don't want to do that. So you have some of the points that you're saying in the listening passage are not even mentioned in the listening passage. The listening passage is focusing on the nuclear accident in Chernobyl in the former Soviet Union.
For example, the explosion in Ukraine, which causes the death of many people.
You want to say which caused, not causes, right? You're talking about something which happened in the past. Right? So this one, you had quite a bit of trouble with this one, so I think here you got a lot of problems with your topic development, and a lot of this, I'm guessing, it comes from your notes. You want to make sure that you get your notes down on a sheet of paper, you want to draw a line through that sheet of paper, and on the left side of your notes, you want to include the topic of the reading passage along with its main points. And then on the right side of your paper here, you see this? On the right side over here, you're going to put the topic of the listening passage along with its accompanying supporting point. So somehow, during your response, you got a little bit mixed up in where this information is coming from. So you need to organize, I think, your notes a little bit better on the next integrated speaking practice test. You can do it, and one of the best things you can do is when you come to class, this is when you practice your note-taking. In my class, in Nick's class, in Jacob's class. So every day, take out a sheet of paper and make sure you focus on getting all of those notes down. My recommendation for a given class, try to get at least 3 pages of notes for each of the classes you're attending, and I promise you, in a few weeks, you will get much better at your note-taking abilities. You really will. It happens by practice. Okay, so a lot of problems with topic development. You had some minor language use issues. So with your delivery, I think you can work on pronunciation. So if you go to the pronunciation part of my course, definitely intonation, pronunciation lessons 36 through 40, I think you can definitely make some improvements there. This one, I think you have misunderstood some of the key ideas from the reading passage and the talk, so that's going to put you a little bit lower here. I'm going to put you in the low 2 area on this one. So 2.0 out of 4. This puts you at 15 points out of 30 on this practice test. Now, for the purposes of our class, if you go to the syllabus, go to page 9. So a 2.0 is going to put you at 70% on this assignment. Now remember, because you're having some note-taking issues, you want to also be careful for the integrated writing practice test we have coming up. And my recommendation for you is, we know that we have a midterm exam coming up, but I want you to do some practice this week. So what you can do is you can go to my website, you can find one of those integrated writing practice tests, go ahead and write your response out, send me a message, I'll have my TA score it. I think it's good for you to do some practice before you take the midterm exam. And the practice test you do this week will not have an effect on your grade at all. It's just for practice to help get you ready. I promise you it will help you. All right, so anyway, thank you very much for sending me your practice test. I think I've given you the information that you need here, and don't forget we have another speaking practice test which is due in about a week, so I look forward to hearing from you again. And maybe this time try to make some changes in organizing ideas a little bit better.